Hi everybody, Kat here. Welcome to the channel. Hope you're having a great day. It is Thursday and we've got a lot of royal news. Meghan and Harry have doubled down on their imaginary importance. Harry's fumbled his way through interviews and speeches. He can't even act his way through a late night Instagram post and look at the least bit real. Now he's here in Toronto for a 2-day faux royal tour, centering around veterans, and this upcoming Veterans Day. Well, he'll be visiting with vets at the Sunnybrook Hospital in Toronto today, and there is a dinner, I believe it's tonight, hosted by the True Patriot Love Foundation, which is the foundation that supposedly gave him an invite here a year ago. That this 2-day trip has been a year in the making, they want you to believe, of course, because as we know, news of this tour popped up immediately as William's heading to Brazil. Isn't it just coincidence that every time there's something going on, Harry pops up with some other stunt he's pulling, but, we're to believe this was planned a year ago. Spite that. Yeah. So I believe there's the charity dinner tonight, fancy dinner hosted by them. And the foundation, which I haven't investigated, but they say they support Canadian military presently serving and veterans and their families, and are said to be the group that invited Harry, sometime last year. Now, I do agree that a spotlight has to be shone on our veterans and what's happening. But Harry's not the man to do it. He's not the man for the job. This is what we're seeing here. It's a very expensive photo op paid for by the Canadian taxpayers in an attempt to rehabilitate Harry's image. And now it's been announced that Meghan is returning to the silver screen. She's returning to acting with a role in a new comedy starring Lily Collins, Brie Larson, Jack Quaid, and Henry Golding. Now, it's not a starring role. It's a cameo. Mere minutes. Kind of like the time she spent on the set in Suits. Over, 7 years, and her total screen time was something like 140 minutes? Yeah, it's like that. It's just a cameo, and it's called Close Personal Friends. Now, she actually filmed her bit yesterday. And I believe it's Amazon and MGM collaboration. But anyway, yeah, she's got a little bit part in it. So it's not a big deal. She's not starring. It's just it'll be a forgettable performance, except for those that, will have had to have put up with her yesterday, right? So that's what Meghan's up to. Now, she'll milk that she never was Hollywood, to be honest with ya. But to carry on, now we've heard about the nasty side of Camilla's character this week, and her attitude toward Catherine, which is less than complimentary. Now, if you've been following me, you know that I really don't hold a lot of respect for Camilla. I don't particularly like her as a person. Well, it turns out, and this is according to a new book out, turns out she was overheard by staff talking to a friend, talking about Catherine's cancer update video. Camilla compared it, said it was like watching a shampoo commercial. Pretty demeaning. But, in the long run, Camilla doesn't matter and Catherine knows it, But all those naturey kind of... You're going to see Catherine really lean into her whole Mother Nature persona. The whole earth worship thing. Which brings us to William, who's in Brazil this week for the Earthshot Prize and then the COP30 following that. He's wowed the crowds in Rio, showed off his athletic ability, playing some beach volleyball. He gave a speech in a velvet tux. He'll host a gala awarding 10 groups with $1 million each towards their eco goal. Then it's off to COP30 in Belém, Brazil. Presumably a place so remote they had to bulldoze miles of rainforest to build a resort and a connecting road for the attending elites. And if you follow such things, you will have noticed, just in the last little while, an obvious pivot from the almost fatalistic push to enact and enforce climate legislation. The push for EVs, the ban on so-called fossil fuels, carbon tax, carbon credits, wind farms, all of it. Even Bill Gates has walked away. And when Bill Gates backs away, it's a big deal. What it is the elites have discovered just taking it all away as they were ready to do isn't gonna work. The public, a lot of the sheep, the public, they've woken up and realized what's going on. And really, since the virus, their mistrust of the government and officials and the elites has grown and grown, and the more comes out, and what we were once purported to be told was a conspiracy theory, well, they've proven to be true. In fact, so many conspiracy theories are coming true, I think we're going to run out of them by 2030. So they've had to pivot. And here's a real easy way to know if something is a globalist plot. If everybody, elites, governments, princes of the realm, news reporters, all change their talking points at the same time, something's up. Climate crisis is being morphed into earth worship. I've talked about this before, the new religion and William and Kate's role in it. There's several videos about it. Kate and William have already built their platform. Catherine's seasonal videos. We've seen spring, summer, her whole embrace nature thing. It looks authentic, sure, but I would say it's curated. Put out warm, comfy feelings. This is the globalist pivot. Fear isn't working anymore, so they've had to change their tack. Comfort, encouraging words, hope for the future. You'll hear things now like, there's so many people with mental health issues, stress about climate change, not to mention that it was the globalists themselves that brought this on, for peddling fear for decades. So the language is shifting from fear and destruction to kind of hope and positivity. That's how they're going to hope to bring you along and make you consent to what they're doing. They're just changing their tactic and see if they can trick you this way. But I mean, don't be fooled. The elites have not become compassionate overlords overnight. They have not abandoned their goal to subjugate you. They've just adjusted their mask. That's all. Hope you enjoyed this. Like, subscribe, leave me a comment, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye for now, everybody.